This is Professor William Wagner coming from Spring Arbor University today, and wanted to bring you up to date on some matters impacting freedom of thought, conscience, and religion that are happening right now out there in the culture. A number of pharmacies like CVS and Walgreens, it's reported by the Washington Stand, are intending to carry new abortion pills that make it very easy to have an abortion, but also potentially have great impact, as reported, with regard to harm to women. And so a number of Christian people are sending petitions and petitioning these pharmacies to not carry these abortion pills. This is important. The sanctity of life is important. God made every human being in his image, and every human being has inherent value and worth. It's been reported that 34 babies born alive in botched abortions between 2020 and 2022. That data comes from 7 states in the United States, showing that in those botched abortions, 34 babies were, born alive. And now we've got places like Michigan that, seems to indicate in their new constitutional provision that, even when the baby's born alive, the baby can, then be killed or allowed to die. And so these issues with regard to the sanctity of life matter, because they very quickly roll into other fundamental rights. Europe right now, for example, has so-called anti-hate laws, and they are now arresting people that are engaging in peaceful free speech, peaceful exercises of conscience. For example, sitting outside an abortion clinic, and putting people in jail, for doing that, as reported by the New York Post. These are tales that are not just one time here and maybe another time there. This is an increasingly dangerous situation where the government is weaponizing the justice centers and the institutions of law enforcement to stop people from exercising conscience with regard to the sanctity of life. The case in England, the person wasn't blocking anybody's access. She wasn't, engaging in any kind of display of protest signs or handing out any material. She was just sitting there exercising her conscience. And for that, she faced the law enforcement actions of arrest, jail, and ultimately being criminally charged with various criminal counts. So when the police officer asked her, "Are you praying?" she responded, "I might be praying in my head, but not out loud." She was even afraid to pray out loud. That was all that was necessary for her to go to jail. So these exercises of conscience matter because, again, it's reported recently, this week in the Wall Street Journal, that Afghanistan has banned women from universities. So not only can they not engage in free speech, they can't have exercise conscience, they can't even learn. By government law, government decree, women are banned from receiving education in the country of Afghanistan, according to the Wall Street Journal. Now, it doesn't just happen to be in places where you have Sharia-controlled state, religions. It's also happening right here in the United States. Many American college students are hiding their Jewish identity in fear of rising anti-Semitism right here in the United States. These students according again to the Wall Street Journal, are saying and pointing out that Jewish antagonism is increasingly something they have to face when walking to school or being part of a university community. This just is not acceptable in the United States of America, but yet it's happening at universities. This kind of hostility includes vandalism, it includes threats, it includes racial slurs, and so the number of incidents in the last couple of years is the highest they've ever been, according to groups that keep track of this, as reported by the Wall Street Journal. A Catholic priest was murdered overseas as countries try to deal with terrorism. 67-year-old Catholic priest, according to the Christian Post, all he was doing was witnessing in front of a place where people were there to listen to him, and he was just killed, for exercising his conscience. And again, as I discussed earlier this week, there's some positive, encouragement as well. MIT has endorsed the students' right to, engage in freedom of speech, and watch my other video specifically explaining what their policy does, and kind of returning universities to where they used to be, a place of ideas where you could debate ideas freely and not, face the kind of government action that many public universities are using these days to compel students to conform to their political preferences. So that's a lot I've laid out there. That's just the most recent things that have happened in the last few weeks. We're going to try and keep you up to date so that you can pray for these people that are being persecuted, that are facing attacks because of their freedom of conscience. Pray for the unborn. Pray for those who just want to be able to engage in the freedom of conscience, and that's why I'm just so proud to be part of this institution here at Spring Arbor University, where freedom of thought, conscience, and religion is a cornerstone of their concept. So until next time, this is Professor William Wagner with an update for you on all matters impacting freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. God bless you.